Hello everyone, how are you? Today we are going to create a very simple landing page, or I should say it's going to be a series, and this first video is not exactly going to be a landing page. It's just going to be a simple HTML file. But in the next video, we'll continue and build it into a landing page. We're going to be using AWS EC2, which is an Amazon service which allows you to create virtual machines. We're going to be using that. We're going to be using the Apache Web Server, which allows us to display the information in the browser. And we'll also ask for some help from our good friend ChatGPT, and we'll also get some practice in with Linux. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to click on EC2 here, and I am going to go slow to make it easier for you to follow along. Okay, so here we're on our instances link here. Let's click on that. And we see one that's running, that is this virtual machine is giving us this page. And we're going to create a new instance by going to launch instances. But before I do that, just something to keep in mind always with AWS, you do want to terminate your instances and delete any other services that you're not using long-term, because if you don't, you might get a very ugly surprise in the billing and cost management page. So that's something to very much keep in mind. Okay, going back to EC2. And here, and it says launch instances. This basically means create an instance. So we're going to create this instance. We already have landing page 1, or landing page 2, so let's do just landing page. And the next step is we're going to choose an Amazon machine image, which is basically a template that includes an operating system and config files and other things that, if we didn't have the template, we would have to worry about. So let's go ahead and choose one of those templates. We're going to just stay with Amazon Linux for our image. And I'm not going to go through everything because that could take a couple hours. I'm just going to highlight what I think are the most important points right now. And I do want to admit that this is maybe not the best way to create a landing page. Really, it would probably be better using S3. But I just want to get people familiar with EC2 instances and some other concepts. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, the next step is we're going to establish a key pair, which is basically authorization for our local machine to be able to connect to our virtual machine. We're going to create a new pair. Let's call it, I guess, landing page. And this, we're going to click create key pair, and this file is going to go to our downloads folder. There we see it there. Very nice. And we'll come back to that in a little bit. Next, we're going to go here to our firewall security groups. This is controlling the traffic that comes into and leaves our EC2 instance. And I clicked all three of these. Back to the authorization with that key pair, that's connected to this SSH that we need to basically have a handshake between the local machine again and the virtual machine. Best practice is to go here and click and get your specific IP address. To be clear, I'm just going to leave it at anywhere 0000, but this is going to allow anywhere to have that connection. But that's, it's not important for right now. We'll leave it that way. Okay, we have allow HTTPS and allow HTTP. Yeah, so people are going to be able to go to their browser and see our wonderful landing page if I click these. Actually, HTTPS isn't going to work, but I'm going to explain that towards the end of the video. Okay, so I'm going to continue down. I'm going to launch my instance. Okay, and it'll just take a couple of seconds. All right, now we could do a few different things. We could connect to a database or create a snapshot, an EBS snapshot. We're not going to do any of this stuff because we're trying to keep it short and simple. I'm going to go to View All Instances. And one thing with AWS, you will find yourself refreshing pages a lot. Otherwise, you will just wait forever. So you'll be clicking this quite a lot when you're building things. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our landing page. A lot of information, but let's just worry about connecting the local machine to the virtual machine. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to go to connect. Back here, we have our file that we have in our downloads folder, and it gives me the example here, and I can just copy the command, makes it easy. Okay, so next step is I'm going to go to a terminal in order to apply that or use that file in order to make my connection. So that, remember, that file was in my downloads folder. So here we go. We're going to add it here. And yes, and very nice. We have a connection between our local machine and our virtual machine. And what I like about this is now we're going to be using Linux commands. I prefer Linux. I really like Linux. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, I think the best idea is if we install Apache Web Server in order, again, to display the content on the browser. So let's go to our good friend ChatGPT, and we can ask how to install Apache Web Server to Amazon Linux. Okay, and then it's going to give us all these wonderful commands. Now, I'm just going to copy, paste. So, and if you are learning, to be clear, it's better to write this stuff out. I'm being a little lazy right now. If you're trying to like memorize things, it's always better to type it out. Okay, now this first command, sudo yum update -y, this is just to update our dependencies. It's not necessary right now because we just created this virtual machine, but it's a good practice. It's good practice to always update your dependencies. Okay, next step. Let's go. Let's install Apache. We go back here. All right. Okay, that's going to install Apache, and we can go on to, we need to start the web server. So we're going to copy that. We go here. And I'm just going to do clear again, go to top. Okay, so here is to start Apache Web Server. Okay, so now we have Apache Web Server started, and I'm going to go directly into one specific file that we need to be in, which is our, I'm sorry, one folder that we need to be in, which is our HTML folder. Okay, so now we're here. And I would like to create a file in our HTML folder, and I'm going to do sudo nano index.html. Okay, wonderful. So now we have a place to put our HTML code. All right, new chat, I guess, and we can say, hey, ChatGPT, create a simple HTML file. And we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this. Okay, looks like we don't get any CSS. This is going to be a pretty boring page. No problem, though. We're just practicing. So I'm pasting it, and I could just double check, go all the way up. Yeah, it looks like everything's there. Now, to save to this file, I'm going to do Control O. You can see the commands at the bottom. Okay, and then I enter, and here it is saved. Okay, and so we can at this point, oh, and I'm sorry, I should have said to write to the file and then save by hitting enter. Okay, so now we can go back to our AWS console. We go to our instance and we're going to see if the magic is happening. Okay, let's go here. Oh no. But no, actually, that's to be expected. Here we go. Now, I'll explain. The HTTPS didn't work, but the HTTP did work. Why? Because with HTTPS, you have an additional level of security called an SSL certificate that you need in order to display the page. We don't have that today. That can be in the next video. Anyway, that's it for today. I really appreciate your time. I hope you liked it. And if you did, you can go ahead and like the video and share it and subscribe and all those other things. Have a wonderful day.